Regulation MB is finally here, and I set myself a challenge: reach Master Ball tier using one of the most overlooked and underrated Mega Evolutions in Pokémon Champions, Mega Pyroar. Thanks to its new ability, Fire Main, Mega Pyroar hits significantly harder than most players expect. Combined with its improved stats, it can go toe-to-toe with some of the strongest teams in the format, including the popular Mega Charizard Y and Mega Floette teams. To maximize its potential, I paired it with Mega Venusaur, giving the team a strong answer to some of Pyroar's toughest matchups, especially rain teams. After a lot of testing, I genuinely believe that this is one of the best Mega Pyroar teams currently available in Pokémon Champions. Before we jump into the team breakdown, if you're enjoying the content and want to improve at VGC or at Pokémon Champions, consider subscribing to the channel. I regularly share team breakdowns, metagame analysis, predictions and competitive guides to help you stay ahead of the meta. Now let's take a look at the team that I used to reach Master Ball tier and see what makes Mega Pyroar such a dangerous threat in Regulation MB. So first of all, we have to talk about Mega Pyroar. Now Mega Pyroar is a very good Pokemon in my eyes. That is mainly because of its fantastic ability and very strong offensive stats. Now this is extremely good. Only thing that pairs really well and that makes Mega Pyroar very strong, it's its average or even just good defensive bulk. Now we are in a regulation where the power level is particularly low, okay? That is what makes certain Pokemon shine a lot of weak Pokemon shine, like for example a Cleaver here that we have on our team. Now this is also very good because in a high power level format, these defensive stats would not be impressive, but in the current regulation this is actually quite good, and I wanted to take advantage of that with the bulk that I gave to this Pokemon, right? But one thing that we have to talk about is obviously its amazing offensive stats, right? 129 to its special attack is extremely good, and the speed stat is what makes this Pokemon actually so good. So let's start to talk about its ability first, and then let's talk about the rest of its moveset. So now we have here the Fire Main ability. This is a new ability unique to Mega Pyroar, and that Mega Pyroar actually gets it upon Mega Evolving. Now Mega Pyroar, before Mega Evolving, has the ability Unnerve. Now Unnerve is very good and it's a very strong ability. Why is that? Well, Unnerve makes it so that the opponent or the opponent's Pokemon cannot eat their berries. This is very good because in this format, type defensive berries are extremely good. Berries such as those that we have here on the Basculegion with the Colbur Berry, and as you all can see, it halves the damage taken from a super effective dark type attack, which is awesome. This is very good to protect the Basculegion for example, a Sucker Punch from a Kingambit. And berries are extremely common, so sometimes not Mega Evolving the Pyroar is actually very good because you can just perhaps take a KO into your opponent's Pokemon, right? If you know that they have a berry. But Fire Main, the ability that Mega Pyroar gets upon Mega Evolving, increases the damage output of Fire type moves by 50%. This is absolutely fantastic. It operates the same as if this Pokemon was in Sun, which is awesome, right? It is basically a weaker Mega Soul from Meganium, but it's still very good, especially because we have a lot of very good fire type moves, like for example Flamethrower, a base 90 power base move that will get boosted by 50% by Mega Pyroar, and this makes it so that a lot of Pokemon will get KO'd or just 2-hit KO'd by a very powerful Flamethrower. Now Heatwave is another very strong move that Pyroar has access, and this move is even stronger than Flamethrower. It does have lower accuracy, but it hits both of the opponent's Pokemon, so if Mega Pyroar is on the field, it's going to be dishing a lot of damage into your opponent, right? Especially if it goes unchecked. Now, we have a couple of issues with Mega Pyroar, but that they can be solved quite easily. Now, Mega Pyroar has the fire and normal type, and normal typing, right? An issue with this is that, for example, a Pokemon with Flash Fire, and if this Pokemon is a Ghost type, Mega Pyroar cannot touch said Pokemon. And a Pokemon like this does exist, and that Pokemon is Cerulege. Now, Cerulege has become quite popular over the time in the past regulation because it was a very good counter into Mega Charizard Y. Okay, Mega Charizard Y is one of the most oppressive Mega Evolutions available, and so I need to hit Cerulege, because if I face a Cerulege, my only answers are Cleaver, Basculegion and King Gambit, but yeah, they are good, but what happens if I only have a Mega Pyroar to deal with that, right? And so my answer to that was adding Scorching Sands to the Mega Pyroar moveset. Now, Scorching Sands is a ground type move, meaning that it will be super effective on the Cerulege, and it's just a very strong move. I've used this move even against rain teams to deal with their Caledons, for example, and it just does a lot of damage. This can also help you to deal with just other Pokemon that are annoying. The other thing that is very cool with Mega Pyroar is that you have a good chance of just burning your opponent. You have 30% chance to burn your opponent with Scorching Sands and 10% chance with Flamethrower and Heatwave. So it's a good source of damage mitigation. You need to get lucky to achieve that, but it's still quite good. Now onto the stats, which is the most important thing. So there is an issue with Mega Pyroar. Mega Pyroar can't actually deal with Garchomp. Now, Garchomp is a very strong Pokemon, Dragon and Ground type, meaning that not only does it resist the fire type moves that Mega Pyroar wants to use, but it can deal super effective damage onto Pyroar. Now, that is troublesome, right? We do have some options that can help us deal with Garchomp, like for example the Whimsicott or even the Basculegion, which are quite good into Garchomp. But I wanted my Pyroar to, be able to not 1v1 a Garchomp, but to stay in the field at the same time as a Garchomp. And so I decided to give this Pokemon a little bit of bulk. Now this bulk will allow Mega Pyroar to survive a Stomping Tantrum and or an Earthquake from a Garchomp, an Adamant Garchomp. This is very good because you are faster than the Garchomp, you can attack, survive the Stomping Tantrum, and then attack again and probably just get a KO because of the amount of damage that you are dealing here, right? Especially if you have a partner that Garchomp cannot survive, right? So the goal here was to be able to survive a Stomping Tantrum from a Garchomp, which we can do. Now, another thing with the spread that we have here was to reach 191 base speed. Why is this important? Well, a lot of Pokemon are utilizing Pokemon that reach 190 speed. This speed is very important to outspeed Sneasler. So max speed Jolly Sneasler reaches 189 speed, okay? So this is a lot of theory, so I'll be talking a little bit slower here. So Sneasler is one of the most threatening Pokemon in the format right now, okay? And Jolly Sneasler reaches 189 speed. A lot of people use 190 to outspeed Sneasler. That makes complete sense, right? And how can they do that? Well, they can, first of all, just have a Pokemon that is naturally able to reach 190 speed, but they can also do this if their Pokemon is actually 185. It's actually 85 speed. But and you can ask, like, oh, how is that possible? How can I actually reach 190 with a Pokemon that has a base 85 speed, like for example Sylveon? If you have Tailwind on your team, you can actually double your speed, right? So by doubling your speed, 85 speed now converts into 190 speed. This is very good. Like I said, we can outspeed Sneasler and possibly KO it. And a lot of people are running Pokemon with 85 speed. The logic here was that by giving 191 speed to the Mega Pyroar, we can outspeed the Tailwind Pokemon that are 85 base speed, right? But we can also just outspeed the naturally faster Pokemon that want to outspeed Sneasler with 190, and we can outspeed Sneasler, which will do super effective damage to us. So this was the goal of going for the 191 speed. It's a very good speed stat in my opinion. Not only that, but because of the amount of investment that we have here on our special attack, we can just KO a Sneasler. If that Sneasler goes for a close combat onto a partner Pokemon, or if you are on the sun, right? By utilizing Flamethrower, you also get a good roll to just knock out a Sneasler, which is very, very good. So this Pyroar is quite defensive, but in my opinion, it is needed because you want Pyroar to not get one-shots, because it is hard with this base stat here, but to just stay on the field as much as you can. That is very important for Pyroar, and just deal consistent damage with Heatwave and Flamethrower. Now, like I said in the intro, Pyroar actually struggles against rain teams. And now, how can we deal with rain teams? With possibly the best Mega Evolution for that, right? Rain teams are very, very annoying. But fortunately, Mega Venusaur is an excellent answer to this dilemma. Mega Venusaur is extremely bulky, right, as you can see here on its stats, and can just tank a lot of damage from Pokemon that want to just strive in rain teams. It can, with its grass typing, it resists water type moves, right, and it's not going to be taking any damage from that because of the amount of bulk that this Pokemon has, right? So it has a good type matchup, but also is very good against one of the strongest Pokemon in rain teams, that being Arcaladon. This Pokemon is a staple in rain teams, and having an answer to that is very important. Mega Venusaur actually fulfills this role beautifully with Earth Power, and I really, really enjoy this set. Mega Venusaur was absolutely fantastic to deal with rain teams. Now, this is not the only scenario where Mega Venusaur is just better than Pyroar. You can actually utilize Mega Venusaur if you're going against Sandstorm teams. Now, Sandstorm teams are quite annoying, and Mega Pyroar dislikes Sand teams quite a lot, but once again, Mega Venusaur is actually just the perfect answer for that, as it can resist some of the damage output that this Pokemon wants to do with the rock typing, right? It takes neutral damage from the ground typing, and it can actually just pressure KOs with Sludge Bomb and Earth Power into said Pokemon. So this is a very, very good Mega Evolution to pair with Mega Pyroar. So I really, really recommend you all to just utilize it, right? The very cool thing about Venusaur is that you actually don't even need this Pokemon to Mega to be useful. Venusaur, the regular Venusaur, is actually extremely good because it has the ability Chlorophyll. Now, Chlorophyll is extremely good if you're dealing with Sun teams, especially against Mega Charizard Y teams. This is good because if Sunny Day is active, this Pokemon speed is doubled. And now we can literally dive into this Pokemon's stats, right, and why I chose them to be like this. So, with Chlorophyll, this Pokemon reaches a speed of 236. A very, very good speed because you will outspeed most threats, one of them being, for example, a Scarfed Garchomp. But in your base form, or in your Mega form, without Sun, you are still faster than a couple of threats, like for example the Arcaladon that I mentioned earlier. Usually Arcaladons tend to go for the 117 speed, and with the 118 you actually just outspeed them and you can pressure them with Earth Power. But talking about going against Sun teams still, This is very good. This speed stat is extremely good. Like I said, you will be faster than most threats in the opponent's team, and you can actually just do a little mischief. And I think mischief, I'm talking about using Sleep Powder. Now, Sleep Powder has a low accuracy, right? 75% is not that good. But because this Pokemon is so fast, and because it is actually kinda bulky, you can actually afford to just press Sleep Powder after Sleep Powder after Sleep Powder. What this does is actually just put a lot of pressure in your Pokemon, in your opponent's Pokemon, even if you put only one of them to sleep. It is extremely good because the rest of your team can capitalize on that, especially Mega Pyroar with the Flamethrower, for example, or Heatwave. This is why Venusaur is so good. It's the perfect pair for Mega Pyroar because it helps you deal with rain teams with your Mega form, and it also helps you deal with sun teams with your regular non-Mega form. That is just amazing in my opinion, one of the best partners for Mega Pyroar. Now, if you want to go with a Mega, you are primarily using it against rain teams, okay? And so I decided to EV this Pokemon to be helpful against rain teams. Like I said before, 118 is to outspeed their Caledon, but the amount of bulk that we have here is also extremely relevant. With this, you can survive a super effective Hurricane. I don't think this is not how it's written, right? I think it's like this. Actually, I don't know. I'm not English, so English is my bad. You can survive a super effective Hurricane from a Pelipper, and you can survive the double up if an Arcaladon goes from a non-boosted Dragon Pulse. So you can actually leave this double up and put a lot of pressure on the Arcaladon with Earth Power, doing up to 60 to 80% of the Arcaladon's HP. Of 80% of the Arcaladon's HP, and with Sludge Bomb you actually will be doing around 50% to a bulky Pelipper, which once again is very good because you don't even have any special attack investment, right? This is just the pure power of Mega Venusaur. This is a very good Mega to have, and a Pokemon that I really recommend you to have if you are utilizing a Mega Pyroar. Now, this Whimsicott is quite normal here. I decided to make this Whimsicott extremely bulky with the Cobra Berry. Now, Cobra Berry helps the damage that you would take from flying type moves. This is extremely important because it will help you survive a double wing beat from an Aerodactyl. It will help you also survive a Brave Bird coming from a Talonflame and just another move. This is very important because you have the ability Prankster, which makes it so that your status move has increased priority, right? This means that if Whimsicott uses a status move, it will move first, normally. And this is extremely good with the Tailwind. If you press Tailwind, your speed is immediately doubled. So if you pair a Mega Pyroar with Whimsicott, you can immediately double the Mega Pyroar's speed and attack first. This also enables the rest of the team, like Cleaver, Basculegion, and even Mega Venusaur. So Whimsicott needs to stay on the field, it needs to stay alive. This is why it has so much bulk. You can actually even survive a Jolly Poison Jab from a Garchomp, which is very good. This is absolutely amazing. Now, once again, this speed stat is very important. It will allow you to outspeed Jolly Garchomp. A Jolly Garchomp reaches 169 speed, you are at 171, meaning that you can outspeed and Moonblast that Garchomp, doing around 50% or even more, depending on how the Garchomp is trained, right? But you will also outspeed the bulky Sneasler's, which speed normally goes up to 170. Now, the bulky Sneasler's are not as common right now, but some people still run it. They also use Pokemon like, for example, Mega Froslass with 170 speed to just be faster than the Jolly Garchomps, right? And KO it with Blizzard, and you can use that to your advantage, meaning that you can just press the Moonblast onto the Froslass, and it's just very good cheap damage, right? And you can like let the rest of your team deal with the Froslass. Now, the very important move that this Whimsicott has is Fake Tears. Now, Fake Tears is extremely good because it lowers the target's special defense by 2 stages. We have 3 special attackers, Mega Pyroar, Mega Venusaur and Whimsicott. Having the Fake Tears will just double the damage output of your special attackers. If you are, for example, dealing with a very bulky Pokemon, like for example Mega Swampert, and for example you have your Mega Pyroar out, this should never happen, but if you do have it, you can go for Fake Tears onto the Swampert, go for Flamethrower onto said Swampert with your Mega Pyroar and do like 75% to it. It's really good. You can also go for a Fake Tears into an Urchalon and then use the Mega Venusaur's Earth Power to just KO it, which is absolutely fantastic. And you can also just Fake Tears, for example, a Garchomp and KO it or almost KO it with a Moonblast from the Whimsicott. Fake Tears really enables this team, and Whimsicott is absolutely fantastic, a fantastic supportive piece. Now, next up is the Choice Scarf Cleaver. This Pokemon doesn't need a lot of introduction, it's a very strong Pokemon. It has 135 base attack stat, which is absurd in my opinion, and the move Stone Axe is very important because it will set the Stealth Rocks on your opponent's side. Not only is it very good against, like for example, the Charizard Y teams, right, because you can just one-shot that Pokemon with Stone Axe, but if if Mega Charizard Y enters the field with the Stealth Rocks on, it will lose 50% of its HP, meaning that now it will be in KO range for one of your other Pokemon, like for example the Kingambit, or even just from the Flamethrower of Mega Pyroar. That is just how strong Mega Pyroar is, by the way. So Cleaver is extremely good to deal with matchups that Pyroar also enjoys to deal with, right? Cleaver is extremely good against snow teams, like for example with the Froslass. I shouldn't be writing here. With the Froslass, right? It's very good against that, but it's also very good against Charizard Y. Okay? And this just makes this team win even harder against those teams. You have Mega Pyroar, which is very good against those teams. You also have Basculegion and Kingambit. And if you go with these 4 Pokemon, I mean, it's really hard to beat, right? It's really hard to beat this team if your opponent has a Snow or Sun team. I think that's, yeah, this team is just very strong. Cleaver makes you win harder, basically, and I really like that. Then you have X-Scissor. X-Scissor is here especially to deal with Trick Room teams. If you go against a Trick Room team, always lead Cleaver Kingambit, Kowtow Cleave the Free Giraffe, X-Scissor the Free Giraffe. Your opponent cannot KO both of your Pokemon, and the X-Scissor or the Kowtow Cleave will just KO the Free Giraffe, and you don't have to deal with Trick Room. So yeah, use that information to the best of your ability. Now, we also have Close Combat here on the Cleaver. This is to help you against, for example, Kingambit. Most Kingambits now are running the black glasses, and if you go for the Close Combat with this much attack, you can actually just KO a Kingambit, which is absolutely fantastic because it will allow the rest of your team to shine. Night Slash is here because 1 takes advantage from the sharpness, having its attack, having its base power increased by 50%. The moves that benefit from this is of course the Stone Axe, X-Scissor and Night Slash. And Night Slash is here because you can now 1v1 a Basculegion. If you go for a Night Slash, Basculegion gets KO'd. That is just how things are. And it's very good. I chose to go with Adamant because I didn't feel like Jolly was strictly necessary. And yeah, Stone Axe is very good. You will be faster than the Mega Raichus, which means that you can just outspeed them and KO them. Most of them are going with the Modest nature, and you will outspeed all of them. The Choice Scarf will also just catch your opponent off guard, right? And it will grant you KOs that your opponent will not be seeing, right? So, yeah, Cleaver, amazing. Then we have the Basculegion here. Basculegion is running a very peculiar set. I mean, it's a little bit more common now, but it's a very good set. We have the Colbur Berry. Basculegion really struggles against King Gambit, so the Colbur Berry actually makes you, want to face King Gambit. King Gambit can go for the Sucker Punch. It will deal around 50% to this Basculegion with the Colbur Berry and the defensive investment that we have, meaning that you can go for a Last Respect or a Wave Crash into the King Gambit's partner, right? Or just Wave Crash the King Gambit to just get the KO. Basculegion does a lot of damage, and the survivability that you get with the Colbur Berry is absolutely amazing. I mean, like, I personally always use the Choice Scarf variant for the Basculegion or the Focus Sash, but Colbur Berry is just so good. You just KO a lot of Pokemon. Trainers are not prepared for the Adamant Basculegion. Most people are still running calcs for the Jolly Basculegion, meaning that you will have a lower attack stat, right? And it will be faster. But I decided to go with an Adamant nature exactly because of that, because people won't be expecting your damage output. This means that you can, for example, lead the Basculegion, Wave Crash a Sneasler, and that Sneasler is gone. Now you don't have a Pokemon that will threaten your Mega Pyroar, for example, and that is Chef's Kiss, okay? With this speed stat, you can just outspeed a couple of threads. One of them is Venusaur. A couple of players are going for 123 speed with the Venusaur, so 124 here is just a little bit more optimal, right? And I really enjoyed that speed stat here. Okay, it really helps you. And this is just a Basculegion. It is a late game sweeper, but you can also utilize it in your first turn if you're going against a fake out Pokemon and just immediately Wave Crash and KO your opponent. This Pokemon is just very good even against Incineroar, which has Intimidate, right? And is a Dark type, right? You can just go for a Wave Crash and still get the KO, which, once again, Chef's Kiss. Then, next up, we have the King Gambit. This is a very generic set for King Gambit. We have the Black Classes to augment the damage from Kowtow Cleave and Sucker Punch, and we have Swords Dance to do even more damage. This set is actually fantastic because with no investment, with no boosts with the Swords Dance, you can actually do 50% to a Mega Charizard. Why? This Pokemon pairs beautifully with the Stealth Rocks that the Cleaver is going to be setting up. If you go for the Swords Dance, Sucker Punch actually KOs a Mega Charizard. Why? Think about that. That is absolutely fantastic. So this team is actually geared to deal with the most meta teams at the moment, right? One of them being the Charizard Sun. And yeah, King Gambit is absolutely fantastic. You will get a lot of KOs that your opponents are not expecting because you have the Black Classes, right? Swords Dance will also catch your opponent off guard if the opponent does not have a Pokemon that actually threatens the King Gambit with a lot of damage. You can just go for the Swords Dance and just KO them next turn with a priority Sucker Punch. This Pokemon is absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best Pokemon that you can utilize at the moment. And yeah, this was the team breakdown. I know it was a long one, but I really like to talk about the teams. I think it is very important to explain the team in depth, so that if you want to utilize the team, you can actually know what each Pokemon is fit to do and the role of each Pokemon on the team. I think that is very important for you to succeed in the ladder. So the rental code will be somewhere around here. So yeah, utilize this code to get the team in game. And yeah, with this said, let's just jump into the games. Okay. When I see Arcaladon and Froslass, I always think about that Japanese team that ended up in the second place with Arcaladon. It was just a Rain Dance Froslass. which is very interesting. Now, the very cool thing about this team is that we actually have a good matchup into that strategy, right? I mean, it's not amazing, but it is a good matchup. Nevertheless, I do think that leaving Kleavor is just optimal. I really like leaving Kleavor here. We don't know what Raichu that is, and that could be a little bit troublesome. That could be a little bit troublesome. I still want to go with the King Gambit though. King Gambit, I think it's quite good. Pyroar is coming into the game. And now, who do we bring? You can bring Whimsigods, but I don't really feel like it. I want to bring Venusaur. I think Venusaur is just way better. We have good damage with the Stab Sludge Bomb, right? We do have a resistance to that Arcalodon. We can hit it for super effective damage as well. So yeah. So we see Kleavor and King Gambit here going against Raichu and Arcalodon. I think I just want to protect my King Gambit, in all honesty. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. Let's see. It's Mega Raichu X. Does he gain a fighting type? Or am I tripping? Oh, it isn't. Okay. King Gambit protects, okay. And Kleavor goes for the close combat onto the Arcalodon. It does amazing. Amazing damage. That is fantastic. But now I want to see what the Raichu goes for. Probably just Rain Dance. Okay. Okay, I was talking about Froslass, but yeah, in Electro Shots, he's probably just going to KO the Kleavor, right? That will be a little bit unfortunate. Oh, it went on the King Gambit. Okay, so this was very good for us. Now, what can I do? What can I do here? My opponent knows that I have close combat onto the Kleavor now, right? I'm a bit inclined into going for the close combat Sucker Punch onto the Raichu, because I think that the Arch is going to just protect, right? Surely you are not going to give up on your Arcalodon right now. So Sucker Punch goes onto the Arch. My opponent does not protect, which is very important to note, because that means that we are probably going to be losing one of our Pokemon, most likely the King Gambit. No, I think that my opponent should actually target the Kleavor. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, it went for the Kleavor. Makes complete sense, right? It just makes complete sense. The good thing is that, I mean, my Venusaur will just do a lot of damage to this Pokemon, either way. I also have Pyroar here. My Pyroar has Scorching Sands. You know what? I think I'm just going to bring the Pyroar. Oh, I saw Chomp and I thought it was Garchomp and I was like, oh my god, I'm cooked. But it wasn't Garchomp. Oof. So, Scorching Sands. This should KO Arcalodon, man. If it doesn't, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. You know, I think I'm just going to trust and go for it. Yeah, I'm just going to trust it. Yeah, I'm going to trust Pyroar, right? Goes to 140. Yeah, I'm just doing this. And Kata Cleave onto the Fridge Rough. Let's see, Pyroar, please get this KO. If you get this KO, we win the game. If you get this KO, we win the game, my friend. Yes! I really thought it wasn't going to get the KO. Let's go! Pyroar! Let's go! Hyper Voice goes through, does a good chunk, not that much. And Kata Cleave is going to get a KO onto this. Oh my god, it didn't. That is like max defense. That has to be like max defense. So Re is Sylveon. Okay, good to know. We have 2 turns of rain, which is annoying. My opponent also can't KO me. So I think I'm just chilling, right? I could go for Heat Wave. Yeah, I'm just going to go for a Heat Wave. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Yeah, I think that this is the play. Chomp protects. Okay, so good thing that I went for Flamethrower. Next turn we are just going to be protecting. Calm Mind. Okay. Okay, so now I cannot protect. Okay. I have to go on the offense here now. So we are just going to be doing the same play. My opponent can't KO both my Pokemon with Hyper Voice. I'm pretty sure of this. Even if it is at +1. Oh, you just go for it. Okay. That is fair. That is fair. Do you KO now? You do KO the King Gambit. Wow, that is impressive. I gotta say, that is very impressive. Okay. And the Pyroar survived, so this is like kind of showcasing the bulkiness of this Pokemon. So I'm just going to go for the Heat Wave. Just a Sludge Bomb onto the Sylveon. If we hit the Heat Wave, we just win. And I do think that the Sludge Bomb is necessary. The Heat Wave plus Sludge Bomb is necessary to kill the Sylveon. So that is why I went for this play. The Pre-Draft could also just go for Protect, and if it does go for Protect, we are kinda cooked, right? Because I would waste 1 turn. Yeah, exactly. I would waste 1 turn with the Heat Wave, and that would have not been good, like, at all. We do hit with a Heat Wave, doing a good amount, and now Sludge Bomb will come through and just KO. Yeah, amazing. A critical hit, I don't think it mattered, but would have. I'm just going to go for the Flamethrower, I don't want to miss, and Sludge Bomb. I don't think that the critical hit mattered. We are a bit offensive with the Venusaur, but yeah, we just win this game. It was a very good team from my opponent, in all seriousness, and I think that my opponent just played really well, right? Or it played well, but yeah, let's go on to the next one. To reach 2nd place on a Japanese competition, like the biggest Japanese competition. It is a very, very annoying team. Very annoying team. That Froslass has Rain Dance. This is basically just a Perish Trap team. Just extremely annoying. I can't really say much. I kind of want to lead with Basculegion and King Gambit. I think that Pyroar is good, and I think that Cleaver is actually good. So yeah, let's see what we can get from this. I think Pyroar is good because it just has a good matchup into like Arcalodon, it has a good matchup into Insane, into Froslass, into Sinistcha, and even into Gengar, right? So yeah, let's see what we can do. I'm actually just going to search up this team, see if I can figure out the sets. That would help a little bit. So let's see if I can do this. Yeah, the event was the PJCS. Very cool event. We saw a lot of creative teams, a lot of just copy-paste teams as well. And yeah. So, okay. We have Colbert Berry, Sinistcha, Citrus Berry, Polito, Leftovers, Arcalodon, Chocoberry, Insane, and then just the Megas. So we kind of start in a good position right out of the gate. Here I want to go for the Swords Dance onto the King Gambit, because that Gengar can just go for a Disable, and I really don't protect and then a Disable next turn. I really don't want that. I just want to pressure just a fast KO, right? Oh. Okay, Sinistcha comes in. Nice. Fake out, okay. This is totally fine. And Wave Crash goes onto the Sinistcha slot. That is still fine. Acceptable damage. At the very least, right? King Gambit did flinch, unfortunate. But, like I said, we are in a good position. I can just Kowtow Cleave. I think that my opponent... What can my opponent do, realistically, right? I kinda just want to double down onto the Insane. Insane has Protect, I know that, but okay, my opponent doesn't even like redirect. Okay. Okay, my opponent didn't even try to redirect. Okay. So I will lose the Bask, but... Oh, Bask survives. Okay. The Sinistcha will also survive this Kowtow Cleave because it has the Colbur Berry, right? But we should still just be doing a lot of damage. Yeah, oh my god. That is fantastic. And my opponent just forfeits. Yeah. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, we are going against one of the most threatening teams. This is almost the big six, but this team has Serena. Okay, instead of the Whimsicott. Okay. What can we actually just do here? This is a very hard team for us, I think. The good thing is that my opponent does not have Fake Out. That's fantastic. So I could go Cleaver Basque Legion. I could also just go Cleaver Whimsicott, which I think I like a little bit more. We are going to be bringing the Lion, of course, and King Gambit. And I think that this is the team. We are just going to try to pressure my opponent as much as we can, especially because they don't have any Fake Out Pokemon, right? Neither do they have Fake Out Pokemon, as well as they don't have a priority Tailwind Setter. I mean, I think we are fine. They don't pressure us that much, I think, from the start with that Cleaver and Whimsicott, if we go for the Cleaver Whimsicott lead. So I think this is quite fine. So let's see. Okay, So my opponent went to the timer. Let's see. Gargasted Mirror. My opponent. Okay, my opponent leads Basculegion Aerodactyl. Okay. That is extremely valid. I can't protect the Cleaver, which is annoying, right? So the Cleaver is probably just going to go down, and I don't have like a good switch in. I could kinda just lock into Night Slash, actually, and just go for Tailwind. And see what happens, right? Yeah, let's see. Are you Focus Sash, Okay. Are you Focus Sash, Basculegion, or Choice Scarf? Because that is going to be a little bit relevant. Night Slash. KOs the Basculegion. Chef's Kiss. Chef's Kiss. That critical hit didn't matter. We are adamant, we have sharpness, we are extremely strong. My opponent goes for the Garchomp. Okay. I'm just going to start like doing damage. I don't have any good switch-ins right now, so I'm just going to go for the Night Slash. I could even double up the Garchomp. I just don't want to do that. Because the Garchomp could just have like a Roselia Berry and the damage on that Pokemon would just be irrelevant. So I'm just trying to divide the damage so that I can easily press like a Heat Wave or something. But my opponents... Are you Citrus Berry? Okay. This is a little bit odd, but... Yeah, Rock Slide, okay. This is completely fine, as you can see, right? A Life Orb Garchomp. Okay. So yeah, this my opponent can't really do much here. Yeah. I think this is just a play. We have just a very strong lead in my opinion. So yeah. My opponent didn't have what's its name, like focus, not focus. It didn't have Choice Scarf on the Basculegion, because if it had, it would have kind of just put a lot of pressure onto us. But yeah, Night Slash does go wide, which is unfortunate, but we do get a little bit of cheap damage onto that Charizard, which is good, which is very good. Now I kinda just wanna bring the Lion here and try to get a KO onto the Aerodactyl, or I could just protect, in all honesty. Which I think I'm just going to do, because I need the Tailwind pressure next turn. Okay. Pyroar joins the field. It's going to take a lot of damage from the Heat Wave, but it is what it is, right? We are conserving our Tailwind, which is the most important thing, right? Because next turn we can just, if the Pyroar faints, we can just bring Cleaver again and dual Wing Beats, okay? So this is even better for us. Heat Wave. Yeah, this is great for us. Yeah, as you saw, like this does a lot of damage to us. So this Charizard is actually pretty offensive. I can just go for a Heat Wave of my own and just Tailwind. And I think we know the moveset of that Aerodactyl, right? The whole moveset. So I think we are fine. The Charizard is probably just going to KO the Lion. Said the Lion, but it is what it is. next turn we have to deal with a Garchomp, a Life Power Garchomp, but we do have the speed control, right? So I think that we are just quite fine in my opinion. Yeah. Tailwind goes through. Double Wing Beat. Oh, we survived this. Let's go. Let's go. Heatwave. Fantastic. We are going to be losing both of our Pokemon here. They get hit by the Heatwave, they do. But we are still fine. We are very fine still. Okay. Music got fainted. Nice. And my opponent does not have Tailwind now. So I actually want to see... Yeah. 3 turns of Sun. We do have Tailwind on our side. Okay, we should be fine. We should be fine. We should be fine here. I am a bit afraid of missing the Stone Axe. I could just go for a neutral Night Slash, which I think I'm going to do. I'm trusting on Cleaver. Okay. Okay. Nice. Okay. This is fine. This is fine. Like, Stone Axe can miss and I really don't want to play those games. Yeah, it's a forfeit. Ooh. Okay, this was all planned, but like, I don't know, man. 90% accurate moves fail me quite often, so... yeah. And we are almost Master Ball. Okay, so let's keep on going. Damn, like this team seems like something out of Reg H. Like I was starstruck looking at this. What can I do? Vasco Legion is good, but is it good enough to lead with? I actually don't know. I really like the King Gambit though, and I can protect the King Gambit to scout what that Raichu is as well, which is going to be very important. Now, I think that Pyroar is still the best option, right? Yeah, it completely walls the Goldango, so it's good. And then, is it Basculegion? I think it might be, right? I think it might be. Yeah, let's see. I like my opponent's team, like a lot. This really looks like just Reg H team. It really does. Okay. We are against London, the whole city. Oh no. Okay. This is quite okay by me. This is just really fine with me. I really don't... I'm not afraid of these Ninetales. Just going to Sucker Punch and Stone Axe. My opponent can only like attack one of my Pokemon. And Cleaver... Wait, I think that Cleaver is faster than the right. And if I calc this wrong... It's Raichu X. The X is the slower one, right? Okay. Oh. Okay. So I got... I mean, did I lose that much? Probably. Blizzard. Oy. A lot of damage. Okay. It's not the best position, but I don't think that we... I don't think we are cooked. I can still just go for this. Sucker Punch, Mink. Yeah, that was... Choice Scarf Ninetales, man. Man, I can't believe... okay. I was asking for it. Drain Punch. Okay. I was asking for it, I guess. My bad. No. This looks bad, but it isn't that bad because we are faster than the Raichu and I have Aqua Jet, so this is not that bad. But I wasn't expecting. Maybe I should have just revved the boxes, right? Effect out. Yeah, effect out the cleaver, so I should have just revved. Okay. Sinistcha. Okay. I went for Heat Wave. What is going to happen here? Okay. That is fine. Oh, and we just KO. Nice. Nice Pyroar. Nice. That is very nice. Who do you bring in now? Ninetales again. You could go for Aurora Veil. I can't really protect anyone, can I? I just want a Heat Wave again. And Aqua Jet again. That was a good chunk. No! Oh, it survived! No way! No way! No way! No way! No way we actually did that. No way. No way. No way. That was crazy. Man, that has to be the intro. Like, that was crazy, man. That was crazy. Oh my god, man. Oh, that was crazy. Okay, we are seeing a fantastic team here, and that is purely because it has Como. Purely because of that. No, but on all seriousness, Pyroar is not good at all against these Pokemon here. So we do have to have that in consideration. The Pokemon that I do think it's good here is Cleaver. Opponent has double fake out on Kamo, on Grimmsnarl and Raichu, or at least has the possibility of doing that. Okay, so that is good to note. I think that Kleavor is fairly good here. I think it's just Kleavor Venusaur. King Gambit is quite good. And I think it's just Basculegion, right? I think this is good. We just have to see what our opponent leads with, because that is going to be very important. But we do have to play like very aware of our opponent's possibilities, right? So yeah, let's see what happens here. This is a little bit scary in my opinion. Like I do think this is a bit scary. Grimmsnarl does not usually have Protect. I'm going to be dividing my damage here. Is that the wisest choice to make? Actually don't know. I think I'm actually just going to be doing this. Or just doing this, which is actually also valid. Yeah, I'm actually just dividing my damage, but not in the way that I think my opponent is viewing. So this is Raichu Y, and that is no guard, right? That is a no guard, I think. So let's see. Being no guard is also excellent because I just went for okay, valid. The Zap Cannon. Yeah, okay. It does get the KO. Okay. I mean, this was the choice that we had to make, right? It is what it is. We could have gotten the KO onto the Raichu. Oh, here we get the poison. That is fantastic. That is actually just very, very good. Now, we actually don't have, like, a good switching. But I can just bring the King Gambit. I think I bring the King Gambit, protect said King Gambit, and go for the Earth Power onto the Raichu. And Raichu should get KO'd by this. Let's see, if it doesn't get KO'd, I have Sucker Punch next turn, so this is generally just a very safe play in my opinion. So yeah, let's see. Grimmsnarl is now on a counter, right? My opponent does not protect with either one of those of its Pokemon, which is absolutely fantastic. My opponent does go for the Reflect though. That is good information to have. Focus Blast will miss because we just protected the King Gambit, and now we go for the Earth Power for almost the KO. We didn't quite get it. Okay. Grimmsnarl will faint next turn. And I want to go just for the Sucker Punch. We should just... I'm not gonna lie. I just think that this is a KO. I'm not seeing like any other option. Yeah, I think it's just Sucker Punch. And I can just keep the offense, right? My opponent has... nothing resists Sludge Bomb. So I'm actually just going to double up that slot. Yep, that is fine. Chapeka. Okay. I'm kinda sad that I didn't target. Okay. That is fair. A little bit annoying, but fair, I guess. I'm just going to kowtow cleave. Like I said, like I think I can just freely do this. I could also just Kowtow Cleave that slot, switch the Venusaur. But I don't really like that. I could just Kowtow Cleave Sinistcha and switch Basculegion in, which I think it's better. Okay. Okay. That is fine. Light screen goes up. Okay. That is fine. I really wanted to get rid of the Sinistcha, but my opponent identified that really well, so I cannot complain, right? And now I think I just want to... I want to switch my Basculegion again. I could just protect as well. Like Kowtow Cleave the Sinistcha and protect, right? But at the same time... I don't want to do that. Yeah, I knew that this was going to happen, but this is completely irrelevant. I'm really fine with this. Last Respects goes through. Why did I opt to attack with the Basculegion? I was just scared that the Sinistcha was unusually fast, right? Because my bonus team is quite fast. So I think that having a slow Sinistcha could be just a bait, right? And I opted to go with the attack with the Basculegion. Another thing and another reason why I did this was because I don't want my Venusaur to just, you know, get the special defense drop. That to me would not be good at all. I can just go, I mean, my opponent has one turn of Reflect. Yeah, like surely Aqua Jet KOs, right? Surely Aqua Jet KOs. It's 20% from... Okay. This is not the best scenario, because that Camo is just going to go for a Clangorous Soul. But it's good information to have. So yeah, this is going to be hard, but not that hard. We are quite bulky with the Basculegion. I think I can now just go for the Sucker Punch, get the guaranteed KO, then just Last Respects that Pokemon. We get a pin on our opponent here, which I think it's nice. Just a double protect. Okay. Do you go for Aura Sphere or Clangorous Soul? You go for Aura Sphere. So that obviously isn't good, right? But still I think we can bounce back, because we don't KO here, but we are quite strong still. And my opponent does not have a good answer into Venusaur. This is why I wanted to bring Venusaur instead of Pyroar. I still think that we are in a good position. My opponent just double protected, which, I mean, it makes sense, but I still have a very good pin here, right? My opponent cannot KO both my Pokemon with Clangorous Soul. I do have the Aqua Jet Pressure, which should be able to just KO the Raichu, right? Camo goes for the Protect to get that Leftovers boost, but yeah, Raichu is extremely frail, and this is one way of taking advantage of this Pokemon. It is extremely strong, extremely fast, but it is also extremely frail. So yeah, and now my opponent cannot KO both of my Pokemon, so I can just freely go for the Last Respects and Sludge Bomb and just end the game. Clanging Scales goes through. it actually KOs the Basculegion. That is interesting, okay. Sludge Bomb goes through, it does a good amount of damage. But it's going to be close. And we are doing just not enough damage because of Light Screen. We should still just win this endgame, right? Oh my god, maybe we don't. Maybe we just don't. Please, please, please. Oh, we got saved. We actually just got saved. That is crazy. That is crazy. My bad, man. My bad. My opponent played really well. So yeah, I apologize. I apologize for that. I should have always gone for Aqua Jet onto my opponent. That was not good for me. I have to learn still. It could have cost us the game, as you all saw. We kinda got just bailed, so I'm very sorry for my opponents. And let's go on to the next one. No way! We actually have another Pyroar user. Oh, that is cool. Yeah, that is so cool, man. That is actually amazing. Cleaver lead looks very nice here, as well as the Whimsicott. I have to bring Pyroar, man. I just have to. My opponent, yeah, I have to. Like, my opponent has Pyroar, so I have to bring my own Pyroar. I think that the gameplay is going to be just Tailwind, Stone Eggs if possible. And yeah, it's going to be that. If my opponent leads with Sneasler, Pyroar, it should still be fine, I think. So let's see. We have to keep in mind that the Cleaver cannot protect as well. So Pyroar, Sneasler, this was exactly that we were thinking about. So I think I just have to do this. I think it's Stone X Protect, because we can just CF fake out and I don't want to deal with that. Look at this. Like a magnificent. Oh, it turns red when it's like activates. Oh, that is cool. I have a shiny Pyroar, so maybe I should have brought it. Maybe I should have brought it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It went down. The lion went down. Damn. This is why Choice Scarf Cleaver is so good, by the way. Now Basculegion. Basculegion. I can't really switch anyone right now. I do have Night Slash, but I cannot use it. I have to try to take down Sneasler, so I am just going to go for a Stone Axe and Tailwind. I just have to do this, right? So yeah. Stone Axe goes through. Oh my god, Cleaver, chill, man. Chill. What a beast. We do lose both our Pokemon here, but I think that they did enough. I really do think they did. Dire Claw. We are strong, but not that strong. Okay. And now we are just in a very good position because we have the Lion and King Gambit. So this endgame is not over, right? But we are in a good position. And yeah, I think I just go for Flamethrower onto the Sneasler, and it's always Sucker Punch onto the Basculegion. Okay, that is completely fine. Your own King Gambit. Bro. Supreme Overlord? Bro. I could have went for Heat Wave. Bro. That is insane. That is actually insane that you did that. Actually insane. Okay. So we are in a okay position. I do want to see what my opponent is going to be doing this turn. I have 2 turns of Tailwind. And my Lion is quite bulky. So I'm just going to go for the Flamethrower. And Sucker Punch. Do I lose if anything happens? If I Sucker Punch the pass protects. I still get the King Gambit. If the King Gambit protects... No, I think I always... Yeah, I think I'm fine. Sucker Punch goes through, okay. Does get the KO. Expected, right? Flamethrower goes through. And just kills the King Gambit. Very nice. Okay. I was trying to think, like, can my opponent actually do anything about this? But they can't. Let's go! Let's go! The Lion! Let's go! Oh, it's her Caledon screens with Swampert. Oh. This is painful, and I don't have a grass type move on the Venusaur. Oh. This is going to be painful. I mean, I could do this. Yeah, I could just do this. Don't really mind it. Could also just do that with the Venusaur though, which I am going to be doing. Let's see. I think Cleavor is good, but I think that just King Gambit and Basque just offers so much more value. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it. The first Swampert or Mega Swampert that we are going to be facing, so I'm actually pretty excited about this. Let's see what we can do. If they lead their Caledon Sableye, the immediate response is Fake Tears, Earth Power, like the first thing we do onto that Caledon. If it is any other thing, I just have to figure it out on the spot. I just hope it isn't like Pelipper Swampert, like turn 1. Let's see. Sableye or Talonflame. Okay. That is fine. That, yeah, I mean, it's fine, but it's not that fine. We just protect the Whimsicott. I kind of want to protect the Whimsicott. And bring King Gambit. Yeah, why not? It doesn't seem bad to me. I'm baiting that my Whimsicott is frail. That is the only reason why I'm doing this. Brave Bird, yeah. It's fine. My opponent did read the switch, or at least just went for it. Okay. We survive another like a Brave Bird with the Whimsicott. So I'm actually just fine. And I'm just going to Swords Dance because the Sableye is going to burn me. So I am just going to Swords Dance. Oh. Okay. I survived this. Yep. One blast onto the Sableye. The Sableye does not have Rosalie Berry. That is a very good information to have. And yeah, Swords Dance just goes through. Cool. Now I just protect the Whimsicott and Kowtow Cleave the Talonflame slot, and I should be fine. I think it's just protect. Kowtow. I'm doing this just because imagine that the Talonflame goes for a Tailwind, right? I want to guarantee just a KO. If I go for Sucker Punch, we might just fail the Sucker Punch, and I don't want that. I obviously just want a KO. And I don't think that my opponent can really threaten that much pressure onto me at this moment, so Kowtow Cleave is the best option. Going for the Protect on the Whimsicott, I think it's pretty safe. I'm faster than the Sableye, so the Sableye can't really encore me, right? And I want to preserve the Whimsicott so that I can fake Tier Star Caledon. That is the thought process. Swagger. Okay. Yep. Just a very good... this was just a very safe play, right? Just gotta go onto the Talonflame. Nice. Now, who do you bring in? Is it the Arcaladon? It's the Swampert. Okay. I'm going to switch the Whims and just Sucker Punch the Swampert. Yeah, I'm bringing the Venusaur because I'm expecting like a Wave Crash or an Earthquake, and Venusaur can just tank that, right? And I really need the Whimsicott for the Arcaladon. So let's see what my opponent goes for. If it swaggers my Basculegion, like, I would be very happy as well. So, okay, Mega Swampert. It looks so cool, man. Like, oh my god, man, I love this game. Reflect, makes sense. Sucker Punch will do a lot of damage. Oh my god. Earthquake. It doesn't KO the Gambit. Yeah. Yes! Yes! Exactly. Aqua Jet the Sableye. Sucker Punch the Swampert. Chef's Kiss. Chef's Kiss. Like, that Swords Dance was so good. Damn. I love this team. I love this team. I knew that the King Gambit would survive as well. Like a Stomping Tantrum or High Horsepower, I don't know what the move is. The King Gambit wouldn't obviously survive, but like an Earthquake, I always knew that it would. So I'm really happy with this. Really happy with this. Sucker Punch. Yeah, just gets the KO. It's just beautiful, man. Just like beautiful. I don't have much to say. Really happy with how we play this one. Let's see what my opponent brings. If it is the Caledon, I have just a perfect... Okay, my opponent forfeits. A very good match. This was like a very good match, so thank you for the match, and let's go on to the next one. Okay, so this is a classic Trick Room team. I quite enjoy this team. Okay, I think I can just very easily go for the Kingambit Cleaver and immediately threaten my opponent's Farigiraf, right? Because I'm thinking that my opponent is going to go with the Farigiraf and Raichu to get the fake out. I can just pressure a KO onto the Farigiraf with Kingambit or Cleaver, so that to me is amazing. It is really, really good. Now, who would be better here? Is it the Venusaur or just the Pyroar? The Pyroar takes neutral damage from a lot of things, so I'm thinking of just bringing it. I kind of don't know who to bring more. I mean, I could always bring the Busk, right? Yeah, it's going to be the Busk. But Venusaur would also be quite good here as well. I just think that Pyroar... I don't know, I think Pyroar resists a lot of my opponent's Pokemon. So yeah, I just wanna do this. Okay. This is fine. This is completely fine. I can just go for the Kowtow Cleave onto the Dragapult and just X-Scissor onto the Farigiraf. And we should be getting a KO into one of these Pokemon. So let's see what my opponent goes for. I could have also just double targeted the Farigiraf, but the Dragapult could just go for the Will-O-Wisp on both my Pokemon, right? Because it is faster. So going for the X-Scissor onto the Farigiraf is just better because we are faster than Dragapult, right? That did so much damage. Why for? That did a lot of damage. But that is good for me because you are just going to lose your Farigiraf. I think X-Scissor always KOs, right? Yeah. It always KOs, yeah. And I do a lot of damage to the Torkoal now as well, so... That was a good amount of damage. That was very solid. So let's see what happens now. The opponent forfeits. Okay. Let's go just on to the next one. We are going against a Rain team. This is a very strong Rain team. With their Caledon. What can I do here? I think it's Venusaur. I can freely lead with Venusaur. I think it's pretty fine. Basculegion would be quite nice as a lead as well, but I'm kind of scared of the Raichu, so I'm not going to do that. I am, however, going to lead with the Whimsicott. I think it's quite good. And then I think it's just these two. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for this. Grimmsnarl, Raichu. Okay. So Sleep Powder is basically just invalid here. I am just going to go for an Earth Power and Fake Tears onto the Raichu. The Raichu cannot KO either one of my Pokemon. They do have the Fake Out Pressure, but they can only Fake Out one of my Pokemon, realistically. So doing this is just good. Okay, this is fine. You can't KO my Whimsicott with the Grimmsnarl. Light Screen goes up, but 2 Earth Powers will surely get your Raichu. Yep, exactly. What does this tell me? What does this tell me? Actually, I don't know what my opponent wants to go for. I'm still just going to Earth Power the Raichu. And I'm going to Moonblast the Grimmsnarl. I don't lose anything by doing this, I'm pretty sure. Raichu switches into Pelly? Yeah, into Pelly. That's why I wanted to go for a Sludge Bomb, but it's fine. Parting Shot, okay. That is a little bit annoying. Who do you go into? Is it the Arcaludon? Because if... yeah, okay. That is still just fine. Yeah, we did a good amount. I mean, it's a fairly okay amount. Earth Power fails onto the Pelly. That is fine. If I'm not mistaken, we should just be faster than the Arcaludon. Faster than the Pelly, and we are. So I can just go for an Earth Power onto the Arcaludon slot and Fake Tears onto said slot. This is going to help us a bunch, right? Yeah. This is very good for us. Yeah, even if we lose the Whim, that is kind of acceptable, I think. The Hurricane won't KO us, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That is very good. Now the bad thing is that I'm not able to KO the Arcaludon. How do I play around this? I think I just bring the King Gambit, right? It's King Gambit, protect Vino. Kowtow the Pelly? We could try that. This is going to be very hard to break this Arcaludon. I have to wait for the screens to be... oh! Okay, Grimmsnarl again, that is fine. I protected the Vina, that is cool. And I went for the Kowtow. Okay. I don't like that. I'm going to bring the Bask now. I'm going to Swords Dance the Gambit. Let's see. What is going to happen now? What can we do? Reflect, okay. Hurricane. Okay. And I went for the Swords Dance. Nice. That is nice. Now I'm going to attempt to Last Respects Sucker Punch the Pelly. No need to do that. I can Kowtow. Okay. I could have just Sucker Punched. That is a little bit aggravating. Okay. I could have just gone for the Sucker Punch. I didn't think that my opponent was going to be greedy enough. Because now your Caledon... Yeah, like you don't have Rain now. So what are you going to be doing with your Caledon, right? Am I missing something here? I don't think I am. Like I can just Earth Power and Kowtow Cleave, right? I could also just Sucker Punch. I could also just protect the Vino and Sucker Punch the Caledon. I have no need to just rush things, right? Yeah, okay. A little bit of expected, right? Yeah. So I am just going to just still go for the same strat here. What happens if I go for this? Like I know that this was going to happen. I knew this. Right. But does the Caledon survive the double up? Raichu. Okay. Earth Power. Oh, he's going to survive this. I'm pretty sure. But I also survive. Nice. Oh, damn. If I went... Okay. That is cool. That is cool. Now I think I just double protect. Just because of the fake outs. I could also just go for Sucker Punch onto the Raichu. I think that the double protect is just better. Yeah, okay. Nice. This is good. This is good for us. Very good. This is very good for us. We all protected. Okay. So it's just Earth Power the Caledon, Sucker Punch the Raichu. The Raichu always goes down. Raichu X, okay. Yep. KO onto the Raichu. And KO onto the Caledon. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Let's go. No forfeit. Let's go. Very happy with this. Let's go. I think we are going to be ending up this session right here. So I'll be cutting this up and probably tomorrow I'll try to get Master Ball with Pyroar, but for today this is going to be the last game. So yeah, I'll be seeing you all tomorrow. Okay, this team seems a bit threatening, Mega Delphox especially, but we do have good answers into that, right? And Cleaver, of course. My opponent does not have any fake out Pokemon, which to me is absolutely fantastic. Me not having fake out is not great. I think I want to lead with Pyroar and Cleaver. And I think that in the back, like, I'm just going to have both counters to Delphox and Froslass. I think this is it. Yeah, like, what can I do turn 1? Turn 1 I can't pressure the Delphox. I think we know that, right? I won't pressure the Delphox with a KO. At least with Pyroar. But with Cleaver I can do that. So I think that my opponent is going to be leading like Delphox Garchomp, Delphox Rotom, something of that kind, right? So let's see. Let's see. So Garchomp okay, so this was nothing like I was expecting. Okay. I know that I survive whatever the Garchomp wants to throw at me, so I'm just going to go for the Stone X and Heat Wave. This way I get over the Rage Powder, right? I do some chip damage onto the Garchomp. Garchomp cannot KO my Pokemon. Sinistcha does switch into the Rotom, so we do get a little bit of chip damage onto the Rotom. So that is quite nice. So let's see. Stone X onto the Garchomp does a good amount. Okay, we get our rocks, and Heatwave goes through as well. It did a solid amount, to be completely honest. Rock Slide. Okay. Oh, and it is Life Orb, so this is actually very good for us. Do I need these two Pokemon? Not really. I think I'm just going to go for a Heatwave and the Stone Axe onto the Rotom. We did do a lot of damage to the Rotom with Heatwave. Garchomp protects. This is good for us. We didn't directly target the Garchomp. So Blink. Oh yeah. Does this put you out of range? Yeah, it does. It does. Not by much, but it does. Okay. Yeah. Burn? No. Electro Web. Interesting. This is interesting. But it's fine. I can just go on to the sorry. I can just go for King Gamut here. And this should be fine. Just a simple Flamethrower onto the Rotom slot. And Sucker Punch onto the Garchomp slot. And we are fine. We get the KO onto the Garchomp easily. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now, they have Sinistcha Delphox in the back. I need to conserve my Pyroar. So I am probably going to be switching the Pyroar into the Basculegion in the immediate future. Yeah, we do get the KO. A little bit of chip damage. We should still be faster than the Rotom. Yeah. Okay, so this was somewhat of a positive turn for us. Yeah, now Delphox and Sinistcha are coming in, and now the issues begin, right? Yeah, the issues start now. Oh, that is cool. I have to bring the Basque Legion now and protect the King Gambit. The King Gambit is going to get KO'd by the Heat Wave. That I think that's like a bit obvious, right? Heat Wave, yeah, it does get the KO. So we could be in a little bit of a pickle here. Heatwave is going to come through. Rage Powder. Heatwave, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is fine. I can just less respects the Sinistcha, and in case the Sinistcha protects, I'm going to Sucker Punch the Delphox. I could have also just double up on the Delphox slot. Yeah. Did I play this too fast? Maybe I should have think about this a little bit more. Okay. It failed. Will-O-Wisp. Okay. This is fine. I'm going to get rid of the Sinistcha, so this is fine. Yeah. This is completely fine. That was a good Will-O-Wisp though. Okay. This is fine. Now, honestly, I can just go for Aqua Jet, Sucker Punch. Double priority. And my opponent has to choose which Pokemon it's going to KO, because it cannot KO the Basque Legion with Heat Wave, it can only KO the King Gambit with that. And I still have a lot of pressure, so I think that this is checkmate, which is nice. Okay. Oof. Like Basque Legion, King Gambit, they are just so good. Jesus. Okay, that was impressive. Yeah, okay. This is why we don't see Delphox that much. It's just too vulnerable to Basque and King Gambit, which are extremely common, right? Yeah, nice. Good. Okay, so this team, I'm seeing this team like everywhere. And it's a really hard team to break. Really hard. How do I deal with this? In all honesty, I've been losing to this team. So, yeah, it's a little bit annoying. I could go Basque Legion Whimsicott, get speed control, I get a Wave Crash, a very powerful Wave Crash. Going with King Gambit is also not bad. Could go Whimsicott, King Gambit. Or just King Gambit, Basque Legion, in all honesty. Venusaur in the back. I could also go King Gambit, Cleaver. Or Whimsicott, Cleaver. King Gambit and Venusaur. This is also a possibility. Let's see. I'm bringing King Gambit, like, perhaps King Gambit wasn't the best choice. But the priority Sucker Punch, I mean, it just does so much damage. I really just want to... I don't want to rely on that, but it's very powerful. Okay, so this is actually not that bad. This is not that bad. I'm going to be seeing a Mega Raichu, another Caladon going for an Electro Shot. I can't actually protect, so I am just going to go for Fake Tears onto the Caladon and just Stone X the Raichu. I'm expecting a Fake Out into one of my Pokemon, so kinda wanna know which Pokemon it is, right? Probably the Wims. But if it is the Wims, the Raichu is going to faint, so I'm not that mad about it, right? It was onto the Cleaver. Okay. This is good for me. Fake Tears goes onto the Arcaladon, which I really like. And Flash Cannon will KO my Wims. That is fine. That is completely fine, because now I can just bring... Yeah, now I can just bring my Venusaur. Mega the Venusaur, Earth Power, and Stone X. It's a bit of an aggressive play, but yeah, Pelipper is going to come in. Yeah, that is still fine. That is still completely fine. I do technically lose one turn by doing this, right? But what can you do? I still think that this is okay. We get the KO onto the right. Oh, that animation is so cool. Wow, that animation is so cool, man. I really enjoy that. I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoy that. But alas, this is a lost game. I do think that this is a lost one. Let's see. Okay. A little bit on the expected side, but things, but it's fine. Hurricane, okay. Yeah. Okay, we don't get confused. That is extremely good. Extremely good. Wait, sorry. Now I can just go for Earth Power onto the Arcaladon and Sucker the Pelly. Trying to see if I can get something. We do get the KO onto the Pelly, which is nice because now the Arcaladon does not have Tailwind. Earth Power won't KO, but we will do a lot of damage, yeah. Are you trying to KO my Venusaur? Oh yeah, the rain is still up. Does the King Gambit survive this? Please? Thank you. You know, when you are nice to your Pokemon, they are nice to you back, you know? So I said please, and my Pokemon just survived, because it is that goated. What can I say, right? Yeah. Okay, so we just won. Nice. I was on a call. I had to do this. That was my only play, like Sucker Punch and Earth Power. I think my opponent, if my opponent went for, like, you know, simply went for the Aqua Jet onto the King Gambit, it would have won the game. But we all make, you know, mistakes and stuff like that. So yeah, my opponent kind of fumbled and we made it. So yeah, let's go on to the next one. Oh no. This is the devil himself, man. The devil himself, Staraptor. That Pokemon is so difficult to break. So I think I'm going to go with Kleavor King Gambit, and why is that? Most players usually go, or like to go, with like to lead with Staraptor, sorry. And so by going with this, I can actually just capitalize on the Intimidate, and that is that. Kleavor also puts a lot of pressure, right? It is extremely fast, and it cannot get KO'd by one close combat. It needs more to get KO'd. Other than that, I think I'm just going to bring the Lion, because it is indeed the Lion. And I think that Basculation is quite good, especially with the Culver Berry. So let's see. The goal here is to just set up rocks and try to chip that Staraptor. So yeah, let's see what we can do. We are probably going to be seeing Staraptor Whimsicott. Yep. Exactly. The good thing is that my opponent does not have Fake Out Pressure, and that is very cool. I can just protect the King Gambit here, I don't lose anything by doing this, and I can just go for the Stone Axe onto the Staraptor. This won't KO Staraptor, most Staraptors are just incredibly bulky, and Stone Axe is neutral into those Pokemon because they do gain the fighting type. But starting to do cheap damage like this is very important, even if we are at -1. So I just want to do that. And yeah, just going to try to just accumulate damage onto the Staraptor. And yeah, we need to bring the Basculegion eventually, and I have to see how I'm going to do that. Okay, we just lose one turn, okay. That is fine. You go for the Tailwind, okay. Does my opponent have Basculegion? They do, so... I probably need to do this, right? Oh my god, no! No! No, no, I can't, man. Don't do this to me. Are we actually serious? Oh, that is evil, man. That is actually evil. Wow, that is evil, man. I saw people thinking of doing this on Twitter, but like... Oh... Damn. Damn. So Kleavor is going down. My opponent is just trying to get into the KO. Yeah. And I can't like Staraptor, man. Come on. Oh, we did so much damage. That is good. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. There might be a chance. There might be a chance, guys. There might be a chance. We just Aqua Jet, Mega, and Heatwave. In case the Staraptor switch. The Staraptor won't switch. I don't lose anything by doing this, so I'm doing this. Oh, okay. I always forget about Sinistcha, man. That is annoying. I mean, if they go for a Brave Bird, then I'm chilling, right? But they're going to just kill my Pyroar. Oh! Oh, let's go! I mean, this is not like the best thing ever, but like... Okay. I was getting scared, not gonna lie. Okay. We did it. Nice. Okay. Now, we did a lot of damage with Basculegion, but I don't know how much we did actually. I think I should still just go for a Wave Crash and protect the lion. Because is my opponent going for a Brave Bird onto the Basque? Are you really going to do that? I think we did it, guys. I think we finally broke the bird. This is just pure, to me, it's just pure bliss. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, the lion has to go. It really has just to go, right? What I can do here is just try to get the Basculegion like extremely in range, right? And go for a Heatwave. This is fine. Aqua Jet did a good amount. It should be just KO range. Oh. Okay. That is fine. The lion will take care of this. Jesus! Oh, it was a crit. Okay. It's over, right? So we have King Gambit. I can just Sucker Punch lock. That's Basculegion. I could also... No, I think I'm going to Sucker Punch first, and then Flamethrower, and then next turn, because we will survive this, Basculegion for Protect. Yep, that was kind of obvious. Sucker Punch goes wide. Moonblast onto the King Gambit. Yeah, we are fine. And the Flamethrower. Yeah. Okay, so now my opponent can only kill one of my Pokemon with the Basculegion. So I'm just going to go for Kauta Cleave and Flamethrower. No need to do anything else. And we should get the KO. Okay, Forfeit. Nice. Very nice. We defeated Jacob. I don't know why I said like that. Okay. Deep breaths, because this next one is going to be our win and in. Let's go. So we actually know this team. This team was very utilized in the Indianapolis and NIIC. So we can actually just pull up the data or the data. Okay, so what are we thinking of doing? My opponent does have a fake out Pokemon in Sneasler, which is a little bit troublesome, but not that much. And we have Cleaver, we have Basculegion. I feel like we can go for this pretty easily, right? I do think that Pyroar is the best option and King Gambit looks amazing here, so let's go for this. So what is my opponent going to lead with? King Gambit Sneasler. This is very good. This is actually fantastic. I should find the team here. Okay. I'm just going to look here. I'm sorry. I really need to know like what is expecting me. Okay, I can't find it. I think it was Choppleberry King Gambit, so I'm just going to close combat the King Gambit slot and wave crash the Sneasler slot. I think this is okay. Close combat, yeah. It does a lot of damage, that is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. And I'm just going to wave crash. Oh, okay. Oh, you do get to... I mean, it does make sense. It does make sense. We should still be okay, I think. Will we KO the Sneasler? Yeah. So this is just a fine outcome, I would say. Iron Head. Oh, this is super chill. Okay, this is super fine. I'm just bringing the Lion now. I think it makes complete sense, right? I was saying that this team was from Indianapolis, but it was from the Turin special event. Oh no, it was from Turin. Yeah, Turin special event. So, okay. So this was a nice bring from us. I can now just go for a very simple Heat Wave. I don't lose anything by doing this. And I can actually just protect the Basculegion. No need to do something different. The Froslass has Blizzard, Shadow Ball, Aurora Veil, okay. Oh, but they are Chople instead of the Black classes that was used in Turin. Okay, so that is good to know. So that there might be other changes to this team. So let's see. Protect from Froslass makes sense, and I think there is going to be a Sucker Punch from King Gambit onto the Basculegion, right? Yep, we avoid that, which is very good, and we get a Heat Wave that is going to be hitting the King Gambit. So this is fantastic. Now my opponent lost King Gambit and Sneasler, so I'm expecting the Basculegion to come in. Yeah, it is the Basculegion. Okay. I don't know if the Basculegion is Focus Sash, so I'm actually just going to protect and Aqua Jet. This is for me what makes most sense. I'll be breaking a Focus Sash by using Aqua Jet, right? I want my Basculegion to go down, so I'm playing towards that. Aqua Jet goes onto the Basculegion, breaks the Focus Sash or potential Focus Sash at the very least, We see a Shadow Ball take out the Basculegion exactly like we wanted. This is very, very nice. Okay. And yeah, and we are just protecting Wave Crash. Okay, this is just fine. Now, what do we know from the way that we trained our Pokemon? We actually know that we outspeed a Froslass. So I'm just going to Flamethrower the Froslass and Sucker Punch the Basculegion. Froslass protected again, okay. Okay, that is annoying. I can just, I have to protect the Lion now. And Kowtow Cleave the Busk. It's fine, it's fine. My opponent shouldn't be able to kill my King Gambit here, I think. So let's see. Aurora Veil, okay. So we are definitely not getting KO'd. But we can probably KO the Basculegion. Survive this. Yeah, you do. Nice. And with that cheap damage, we should be able to KO, right? Yeah, nice. Fantastic. That is fantastic. Nice, nice, nice. And we can just go for the Flamethrower. I don't want to miss. So Flamethrower it is. And it's obviously also going to be a Sucker Punch. And this should be GG. Sucker Punch goes through. Almost KOs through Aurora Veil. And we got our Flamethrower. Fantastic. This was fantastic. Boys and girls, my fellow trainers, with this victory, we should be in Master Rank with Mega Pyroar. So let's see if we actually did it. In a 4-win streak, we actually made it to Master Ball. Let's go. We made it to Master Ball with Pyroar. Amazing. Let's go. Congratulations on your 3rd time reaching Master Ball tier, Gonkas. It seems you're now able to win your battles with admirable consistency. Scarce few players can say the same. You have my deepest respect for all the effort you must have put in to make it this far. Why? I imagine you're now capable of defeating almost any trainer out there. I can defeat you probably and the other guy, but look, I look forward to encouraging you on the battlefield myself someday soon. Until then, take care. Let's go. Guys, we made it to Master Ball with Pyroar. Let's go! Let's go! Yep, let's end this one here. And yeah, oh my god, what a journey. What a journey.